Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's episode 288 of the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. And we wish we had better news to report. Steelers are 1-3, and they're going into a 4-game stretch, which is going to be a bitch. Let's just put it that way. And they're going to do so with a rookie quarterback making his first start this week in the friendly confines of, what in the hell do they call that thing up in Buffalo?
Highmark Stadium.
Well, it's Highmark, right?
Yeah.
I'd like the New Era Stadium better.
Wait, it's Highmark Stadium too?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The same Highmark of Pittsburgh soccer, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Huh.
So those Highmark folks are getting.
Anybody having
around
tequila tonight, or is it just me?
Well, I
Just
believe
you.
it's just you. I would like to welcome in
whiskey right now.
welcome in our couple of viewers, and I'm sure we'll have more. The link has been posted, and just once again, hey, I thought I posted on YouTube. Maybe it's not coming through here, but take a photo of us on your computer. We just lost Ben. I don't know where the hell he went.
Please don't.
He's out, man. Take a photo of us on your laptop, your tablet, whatever, and post it to your social media and use the hashtag SCB Podcast, and I'll be more than happy to send you a little gift basket, if you will, from us. Oh, there he is. What the holy hell happened?
No idea.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Technology. Gotta love
Ben
it.
was out faster than Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
Yep.
all right.
Let's go.
Smart mouth. Let's get right to it. Ian, did Mike Tomlin make the right call on Sunday
God, of
going
course,
to
yes.
the rookie
God,
after
yes.
halftime?
No, he should have started him. The whole game would have been better. So after halftime,
Wow.
Mark asked after halftime, he should have started him. No, it was absolutely the right call. Trubisky was not getting it done. Trubisky's best play of the first half was getting lit up by a defensive lineman so Boswell could kick that field goal at the end.
That's right. 59 yards.
Yes.
I mean,
which was insane. So, no, actually, like Trubisky didn't get any help from his receivers, right?
No, that's the
his
thing.
interception came off of Deontay Johnson's hand. If Deontay gets both feet down in the back of the end zone,
Right.
Maybe it's a different story. But
Right. Does he come
nevertheless,
back out if he gets both feet down in the end zone and if he catches that pass instead of it being an interception? Are we talking about Mitch starting another game and us going, he's not good, he's not bad, he's just kind of Mitch, and I don't know.
It's a
I don't really know
completely
what to
different
expect.
narrative if Deontay scores there.
Yeah, completely. And if he makes that catch to begin with, instead of it being an interception. I mean, the first 3 interceptions of the game bounced off of Steelers wide receivers' hands. Very catchable balls.
Yep.
Could have been a completely different game.
I
Should have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
the bottom line, though, is Mitch wasn't putting the ball in the end zone. The one time he got it into the red zone, he took a sack, and Boswell had to kick like a 51-yard field goal instead of like a much shorter field goal.
Yeah.
Mitch took sacks at the worst possible times.
Ian and Mark and I were texting during the game, and you hit the nail on the head. Mitch
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, piss off. Actually, we do have your number now. I should probably be texting you too.
It started because Mark and I were both at the game.
We were at the game.
And
Right,
Ben
yeah.
texted both of us, and we
It
just
was like,
kept replying.
Hey,
so
let me know
blame
when
Ben
Renegade
for-
plays. So they were going to let me know, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And it was like, Mitch takes a sack on 3rd and whatever. And it's like, Mitch takes sacks at the worst possible fucking time. And I'm like, yes! What the fuck?
So really, Ryan, it's Ben's fault.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Pretty much. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Not
So,
really, sorry.
Scarps, in your humble opinion, did Tomlin make the right call going to Pickett there?
I'm just, you know what? Here's my whole thing about this. I gotta trust my gut here, and we'll talk about predictions later. But sometimes I feel like I don't trust my gut on this show, because I don't want people to think I'm too negative. But I'm just gonna be real.
Just be tactful about your negativity.
I'm just gonna be real. I truly think Tomlin thought, and listen, I want to say it, I respect Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin was good to me. He's a good dude. He's going to be in Canton. Don't at me. That is the truth. I think he's a great coach. But I can't help but think that in the back of his mind is that non-losing season streak. And I think that he thought, I need to go to Kenny Pickett here right now because he is going to win me the game. But little did he know that his defense is garbage.
We'll get to that.
Hey, Mark, you need to post Big Ben's burner, that comment.
Which one?
Oh, come on,
the
Big
last
Ben's
one.
burner. Give me a break.
Oh, there you
man.
go.
Give me a break.
I like how this has become Ryan's thing that he thinks.
All right. And you know what? So Tomlin trusted his gut. Like, I'm going to trust mine. And look what happened. They moved the ball efficiently. They got some splash plays on defense. But then the defense reared its ugly head, and now they're 1-3. So getting back to your question, did he make the right move? Yes, he made the right move, but it didn't turn out the way he had hoped. And now the as he would say, the toothpaste is out of the tube, the cow's out of the barn, or whatever saying you want to say. And there's no way you can go back to Mitch now.
No.
And they're not. So
no, I mean, is that a bad thing though? I mean,
no, it's not. It's not a bad thing.
I don't think it is.
It's not a bad thing. However, let's just say they lose their next 4 games and Kenny Pickett isn't that great or doesn't look that great. What does that do to his confidence? I don't know. Ben Roethlisberger won his first 15 starts, right?
Right.
No, 13. He only started 13 games his rookie year.
Yeah.
Right.
But wasn't it 15 regular season starts before he lost?
Yeah, they ended up going 15-1. But Tommy started one of those games after Ben came in for them against the Rats, and they won a game or
wait, but
Tommy started one game after Ben.
He started week 17.
It was
Buffalo. Yeah,
Yep.
It was the Bills JV team that needed to win to get into the playoffs, and they couldn't do it because Bettis didn't play, Deuce Staley didn't play. That was the Willie Parker breakout game.
Cowher benched everybody who was nicked at all. Everybody who had a scratch. Cowher benched them.
Yeah, and shameless plug, that was Gordon's feature on Steelers history this week too, as he went back and looked at that game where it was essentially our JV squad because we had home field already wrapped and still went into Buffalo and won that game. They had won 6 in a row.
That said, the broader point that Ryan was trying to make though is also correct because Ben won those 13 games in 2004 and then the first 2 games in 2005.
Yeah.
So he won his first 15 regular season games.
Correct.
So both of you are correct.
Correct. Amundo.
Yeah. So Ben,
I don't know where you are on my screen. No, you're over there.
Did Tomlin get it right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it just. I'm sorry. Mitch was just not doing what he needed to do, and the team was not moving the ball, and he was fucking up in clutch moments where, you got a clock, you got to have a clock in your head because they're coming with a blitz. You got to get rid of the ball.
Yep.
He wasn't stepping into the pocket; he was stepping around it and walking into pass rushers. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? God. No, it was frustrating as hell.
Scarps.
No, their clock management and sense of urgency.
Oh, don't get me
heading
started.
into halftime is mind-boggling. Because if not, and you're right, Ian, if not for Mitch taking that shot, they wouldn't have gotten that ball. They wouldn't even been in position. And last thing I want to say about Mitch was, okay. It's been a minute or two. Yes, I do agree. I do think Kenny Pickett provides this team with the spark or whatever, and I think he puts them in a position to win games. He's their best option. But I will say that arguably what I thought was the best play call of the year and best throw of the year from Mitch to George Pickens on that play action fake, and Sauce Gardner was just all over it. Because as soon as he let go of the
best
ball,
throw of the year, really?
By Mitch.
I thought the ball was inside and short, and you're serious with that? That was his best throw of the season?
That was a really good throw.
I thought it was shit.
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not sure which
Sauce
one.
on that. I'm complimenting the Sauce.
I get it. The coverage was great, and there was a safety right there. And there was a safety right there. I thought it was a terrible decision at the time. I'll go back and I'll watch it again, but I haven't watched the tape. But I thought the ball was short and inside, and that if he'd thrown it high and outside, there was a chance that maybe Pickens could have gotten there.
Close.
Maybe.
I was close to the out of bounds, though.
I was at the game. It looked like just a really good defensive play to me. I mean, that's all.
The coverage was there, man. And Sauce Gardner is a great
He's
corner.
legit.
It's the last time I defend Mitch. I'm just saying.
Absolutely legitimate.
Ian,
what you should do right now is go ahead and defend Mason. How's he doing now?
Oh, for God's sakes. Ian, you were there. And
yes, as were
I
you.
would like your take on the electricity of that place when Pickett came in to start the second half. You've been to way more games than I have. What would you compare it to? Did it rank somewhere, or was it just a nice? I mean, give me an idea.
There was buzz. So full disclosure, Mark and I met up at halftime in the Great Hall. And we both had our sons there. So on our way back to our seats, my son was like, "Daddy,"
2 beers each.
Yeah, no. Let me tell my
No?
story. No, my son was like, "Dad, can we stop in the bathroom before we go back?" So we go in, get right in, whatever. Guy in line next to me says, "Hey, Pickett's coming in," and he's like looking at his phone, which is kind of a wrong thing to do in the bathroom, but whatever. I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, like look at the ESPN app, like they say Pickett's coming in, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like. So I was like, "All right, buddy, let's go." So we like busted ass out of the bathroom and ran up to our seats so that we could see, because we could hear the radio call that the Jets got the ball first and they punted, and we are like, "All right, let's go." Like we washed our hands, we're getting up to our seats, like, "Let's go." And like, he was in there and the crowds, they hadn't even announced it yet, right? And the crowd's chanting, "Kenny, Kenny, Kenny." And then like they announce it and the crowd goes like, "Now at quarterback number 8, Kenny Pickett," and the crowd goes wild. I mean, man, I would say, other than Ben's last game last year, that was the most lively and electric that place has been since before Ben's elbow injury. I mean, so that's going back to 2018.
Yeah.
That long. The place was hopping, it was jumping, it was exciting. And it was kind of funny that like I posted the video on Twitter too that I took from my phone. But the first snap they hand off to Najee and he gets like 7 yards, and a guy behind me yells, "The offense is already better." And it's just like they ran a running play, but the line got good push and Najee got good yards. So it was kind of like, maybe. But
sorry, Ian.
Yeah, go ahead. Go. Yeah, I have other thoughts on Pickett, but go ahead, Ryan.
So 2 things. I was doing a variety of household tasks.
During the Steelers game? What the hell, man?
It was halftime.
Oh.
It was halftime. And I figured, I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, I got 15 minutes.
Okay.
And like, so by the time I got back downstairs to the TV, not only did I miss the Jets 3 and out, I'm like, holy shit. I was like, did Mitch die? Like, is he dead? And then I saw it. Oh shit, I forgot the second point. Oh, but then get back to that first drive, 3 straight runs to Naj, and then they fucking went for it on 4th and 1 on their own, like, and
they're on the 38-yard line. Yeah.
And I'm like, damn you, Big Ben's burner. Everybody's a tough critic tonight, okay? Everybody's a tough critic. And then I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, like I literally talked last week about this team lives in their fears, and then like Tomlin like just did like a nod, and I'm like, oh shit, they're going for it. Like,
QB, he looked like a veteran going in there in the sneak.
let's talk about that real quickly.
I have another thought.
Is Mike Tomlin growing as a coach? Because I didn't expect this switch this early.
No, he was desperate. He needed to.
I don't think he was desperate at all. I don't think he was worried about a winning season, non-losing.
He's never talked about that,
I think they've got a succession plan in place, and the plan wasn't working. And so they're like, okay, well, the plan's not working. We're going to have to.
Isn't that desperation a little bit?
No, not at all. It's like, it's not like Tomlin's worried about his job.
Oh, I know. I get that.
Yeah.
All right. I got to finish my thought from before. Mark asked me when the last time the crowd was that loud, and I said 2018. But I will specifically say Joe Hayden's interception against New England in 2018. That was the last time that stadium had been that hyped up.
Really?
Yes.
Just real quick to piggyback on Ian, we got back.
Other than Ben's last game,
I told my son, I said, hey, I'll get in line. I'll get us, some nachos or something, whatever. And so he went to the seat, and he texts me, and all I see is Kenny in all caps. I'm like, no way. And he's like, seriously, he's in. So I looked up behind the concession, and there's the TV, and sure enough, he's coming out of the field. I got out of that line so fast, I'm like, screw it. And we got in our seats just in time to see him. So yeah,
there was a line for beers in the club seats.
I know. Do you believe that?
I kind of am surprised, to be honest.
Everywhere at that stadium, man. I heard it's terrible.
I'm honestly surprised.
It was. Well, this
when I went, there were no lines. Then again, it was a Monday night game.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. Fewer people.
Ben,
a school night.
Good question by Big Ben's burner in the chat. Did Tomlin give in to the crowd? I'm going to say no on that one because the crowd really only had like one Kenny chant.
There was one big one. Big one.
Not to mention the fact that, does Tomlin really give a shit what the crowd thinks? I don't think so.
I don't think he
not
does.
what the crowd thinks. No, I think Tomlin as the coach has his finger on the pulse of his team. Right. And he could tell that his offense was basically full of malaise and
exactly
they needed something to change, and Mitch wasn't it. And the biggest thing for me that stood out with Pickett, like that out on the field, he looked like you expect a 6-year veteran to look, and Trubisky looked like you expect a rookie to look, right? Like Trubisky, if you watch him between plays, he's looking at his wrist thing, gets the call, goes into the huddles like, all right, guys, here's the play, let's go, right? Pickett's out there directing guys around, grabbing guys. Hey, you're going off. We got subs coming in. These guys are coming in. Come on, get in the huddle. Okay, huddle up. Like he's out there directing traffic. It's like what you expect a veteran to do.
Yeah, it's 2019 all over again. Only it's not Duck Hodges, who was not a very talented guy, but he comes in. He's fearless. He's commanding guys. He's pushing them. Yep. He's telling where to go. He knows where he wants to go to the ball. Yeah. He just can't do it because he's Duck Hodges.
The body language is just night and day, right?
Yeah.
It's all. Even like when Kenny got smoked on that throw to Muth in the middle.
Yeah, and he stands up and like talking to the guy.
I don't even know.
I think they were having a laugh. Is what
I think it was a laugh. Like I think
they
got probably you gotta hit, probably well, good hit, buddy. Like good hit, or like you gotta hit me harder next time. But like Mitch was so like robotic that it was like. And even when I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but like I feel like it definitely Ben did, but I feel like Mitch, like a wide receiver, put his arms up or say some shit. Ben would be like, maybe you might not hear it on the mics, but Ben would be like, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and Mitch would just be like, okay, but like I picture like Pickett being like, shut the fuck up, and you do need that. So again, like I'm happy for Pickett. I'm excited. I hope he does well. That was terrible. Anyway, we'll see.
It was incredibly obvious that
Mitch has the personality of Eli Manning, not Keanu Reeves.
Or yeah. It's like a wet mop.
It's like.
I know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Lori Petty, I love you. Let's go surf.
But I think that got backed up too by what Pickett said after the game too, right? That he says, "Oh hey, like I trust my receivers. Anytime I've got Chase Claypool 1-on-1 with the safety, I'm going to take that shot." And I told Chase after the play, like, keep your head up. I'm going to come back to you in that situation. Like, just do better next time, right? Like you never heard that from Trubisky all year. He's like
maybe try and high point the fucking ball.
Well,
Claypool.
yeah. Chase Claypool's 6'4", 230, and he plays like he's 5'10", 180.
I've ever seen adjusting to a football.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. Let's examine that right after I tell all of our friends about downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and using promo code TPPN to get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code TPPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. Yeah, what the hell is it with Claypool? I mean, he's 6'5". The man is built like a Greek god.
Yep.
And he's not a dog.
We watched him bully corners in college. And we expected the same thing when he came to the NFL, and he just isn't doing it. I don't understand it.
No, I don't either. It's just somebody had a great photo of that play where he's like this, and he had both hands on the ball.
Right.
Why aren't you going and snatching?
Why didn't you step forward, take a step forward, and high point the ball?
I mean,
here
that's like I'm an only child, and even I know that's Big Brother shit you do. You know what I mean?
That safety is 5'9". That safety is 5'9". And he picked him off.
The throw. Let's be real. I'm not going to be too critical of Pickett, but that wasn't the best throw.
No, it wasn't.
It was a little short. It was
bad short,
but it ended up being a 50-50 ball that Claypool absolutely has to fucking catch.
Yeah.
Versus a guy who's 7 inches shorter than him, and he outweighs him by 50 pounds.
Yep. I'm going to trust my receiver to
use
make
your
a play
body.
on that.
Box the guy out. High point the ball.
Listen, and here's the irony of it is that I think Claypool has handled himself very well this year.
I agree.
He seems to have a sense of urgency. Like he seems to have learned from his past mistakes. The Minnesota game where he's celebrating a first down or whatever.
Yep.
But I have to laugh because the irony is that he's only regressed since he was Mapletron. Remember that? He's Calvin Johnson. I'm like, what?
Mapletron.
Like that's why everybody's high on Pickett right now. Just relax. Like let's not jinx the guy. Let's just let him do what he gotta do.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
And let's not forget with Pickett, like Ben Roethlisberger as a rookie was an anomaly, right? Usually rookies come in, have some growing pains, right? Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his rookie year, which was a record until Jameis Winston happened. Right. But, like usually there's some growing pains. And I'm not saying that Kenny Pickett's going to be Peyton Manning, but like don't expect him to come in and be Justin Herbert right away. Justin Herbert lost his first, 4 or 5 games as a rookie, and he's actually never recovered.
He's having a bad.
He still loses, but he's really good.
Justin Cannon, but he still loses.
Justin Herbert still has a losing career record in the NFL because he lost his first career games and has basically been a 500 quarterback since then. So, but don't expect Kenny Pickett to come in and be what Josh Allen and Justin Herbert are right now. Maybe he can grow into that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I hope he can. But, you got to give the kid time to grow, too. He's not going to come in and do it all right away. Ben Roethlisberger winning 15 games, his first 15 games was an anomaly. That never happened before and probably will never happen again.
Probably never happen again. Yeah. No, I agree. I wanted to jump ahead real quick. Did the Steelers play Renegade too soon Sunday? They played it early in the fourth, right after we went up by 10.
Recently, it's online. Somebody look it up. Recently, they did like an analytics about it when they play Renegade,
right?
And it actually isn't as impactful as you think.
Oh, it's not. The defense gives up points more often than you think.
Like, even when I worked there, well, later on when I worked there, we would joke and be like, "Oh, they played Renegade. The Bengals are going to score a touchdown here." like it was like, no, I mean, it used to be big. Like, it used to be like money.
2008, 2009, yes. 2010. It was money in the bank. Yes.
Unless it was Joe Burnett dropping an interception off Bruce Gradkowski in 2009.
Oh, that hurt.
I remember
I blocked that game out. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, man.
My
first drink in like 14 days. It's been real.
It's all good.
I agree with you guys. I love Renegade. I think it's a great moment.
It's great for the crowd. It fires everybody up, gets everybody into the game. That's the only real impact.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if the fans could maintain that energy throughout the fourth. Did they play it too early? I don't know. After they played it, they gave up 2 long drives. The first one was 11 plays, 81 yards, and ended in a touchdown. And then the next one was 10 plays and 65 yards and ended in another touchdown.
Yeah.
And I think it just nothing to do with Renegade. I think it just has to do with the fact that this is a pressure scheme. The Jets made some adjustments to the pressure that the Steelers were getting, the little bit of it, and denied them the ability to get pressure on those 2 drives. And when you do that, it's easy to throw against the zone defense, the zone schemes. They run behind that pressure front.
Well, and look, I think Wilson, he did a very good job getting out of pressure.
He did, but they also ran some play action that the Steelers were biting on.
Yes.
Like really biting hard on. And
For sure.
And,
but, Highsmith had him a couple times. Reed had him a couple, so I give the kid credit for that.
He played better in the second half. First half, he played awful. He was terrible.
Ben, you mentioned earlier about Tomlin evolving as a coach. And again, I think Tomlin is a great coach, Hall of Famer. But I'm going to tell you this right now. For a guy that came here as the defensive coordinator, their defense has failed them so many times this year. And they're about to go up against a stretch of teams that are really good offensively. And
I didn't think that defense was that good last year. I think they have 3 guys that are stars. They have a couple of other guys this year that that are solid players, more than they had last year.
Well, people get wrapped up in the sacks, I think, too much.
But they've got some guys in key positions that are not that great, especially their outside corners.
Right.
Not that great. Their depth at outside linebacker, not good. Their depth along the defensive line, not good. Somebody pointed out earlier that Cam looks like he's hit the wall. Well, I don't think Cam's hit the wall. I think that Cam has got a couple of injuries and he's playing hurt, and it shows.
He's elbow and an ankle right now.
He has one tackle for loss.
Yeah.
Without TJ.
Yeah, he's not. It's much easier to play against Cam and scheme against Cam when TJ's not in there. You can just double Cam all game long.
Yeah,
and
that's what they're doing.
And he becomes a non-factor because it's like, these guys on the edge, we can go one-on-one with them. We've got our best offensive lineman over here against Highsmith. We'll take our chances. This guy over here, Malik Reed, whatever. Which brings me to my next point.
I agree with that comment, by the way, by Big Ben's Burger.
Is it a better idea? Is there a better option than Reed right now? Should we be playing Leal more often? Because I got to be honest, I thought he looked pretty damn good on Sunday.
I agree.
He did. And they ran this set a lot in the first half where if they got basically a stop or an incompletion on first down on any second and long situation, it was almost like a 4-3 kind of look where they kept Highsmith in, brought Leal in on the other side, and had Cam and either Ogunjobi or Alu or somebody else on the inside. And sometimes and sometimes when Travius Adams too. So it was, well, actually, no, they would take Adams out and bring Leal in. No, sorry. No, they brought Leal in for the other pass rusher on the other side.
Right.
So, but it was, Leal played really well. And
I thought he played great.
Yeah, he played great.
Now, granted, he was playing against like a fourth team right tackle or whatever.
Yeah.
So
when the Jets lost their other right tackle during the game too.
Yeah, it's hard to say that it's legit and not a mirage. But when they put a tight end on him, oh my God, he abused those guys. I mean, it was pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like grabbing them and going, yeah.
Well, and at some point, like we and Steelers Twitter has rightfully criticized Matt Canada for the dog shit offense for the first 3 games. But at some point, Teryl Austin deserves some criticism too, because the defensive scheme is, like you said, Ben, it's set up and predicated on pressure. Right. But if you're not getting pressure, you have to adjust later in the game. You can't keep leaving these middle crossing routes wide open. Yeah. They're dropping their guys into a short zone, like 5 to 8 yards off the line. And those like 9 to 15 yard routes have been wide open all season. And you just got to find the holes in the zone, and it's not working. And they went out and got guys that are cover corners, and they're sticking them in zone schemes. It makes no sense.
Agreed.
Like Teryl Austin,
you've got to switch to a cover scheme when you find yourself in those situations. Yeah. You got to mix it up, or you got to disguise your coverages. It can't be as obvious as it was all game. Well, yeah, most of the game. Certainly in the second half. Yeah. Certainly in the second half, you knew what they were going to run behind that front, like every damn snap.
And maybe lining Arthur Millette up on Garrett Wilson's a bad idea.
There's that, but maybe what choice do you have
on third down?
I mean, you've got Sutton. You can't move him in.
Well, depending on the injury report this week,
their entire secondary.
Oh yeah, it might be tough.
I mean, you've got Witherspoon's the only guy who's not practicing still, and that's his hamstring, and I don't expect him to play. But everybody else has been limited. I would think that everybody will play.
Edmonds is in protocol.
Will they play at 100%? Oh, Minka's in protocol, but he's practicing today, so I expect him to play.
No, Edmonds is in protocol. Minka's got a knee.
Right.
Yes, excuse me. Edmonds is in protocol, but he practiced today. I expect him to play. Minka, he played. He's practiced. They're limited. I expect them to practice tomorrow again and play on Sunday. Now, I'm not saying these guys are going to be at 100%, and I certainly am not saying that they can keep pace with the Bills' passing game. Even if they were healthy, it'd be tough to do, to be perfectly honest. But it's not as awful. It's not as bleak as Steelers fans have been making it seem this week. Nor is it as good on the offensive side with Kenny coming in. I mean, come on, guys. It's a rookie.
One final point about the defense, if I can.
Sure.
Or just tell me to screw off. But
screw off.
Okay. But no, the thing that concerns me is that players have talked about scheme as in the last 3 games. We out-schemed, which to me reminds me of this, 16, 17, 18 seasons where they're like, oh, there was miscommunication. Either way, it ain't good.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So again, and getting back to, we were talking about Tomlin, like, I haven't been in that building in 5 years now, but like, I'm interested. I'd love to know like what Tomlin's input is on that defense, especially late. Like, because we've been told a variety of things. Remember last year they're like, oh, Keith Butler doesn't call the coverages.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, So it's like, well, who's actually calling the plays? Like,
well, either way, Tomlin's got all the calls in his headset. So if he doesn't like a call on the field, he can overrule it.
By the way, this game on Thursday night is shit. It is so terrible. And then next week, we got the Commanders at the Bears. So the next time somebody wants to talk about Thursday night football and how it makes money,
I mean, it does.
Well,
it does, but it's poop stains. Just
Ian, who's going to benefit the most with Kenny Pickett starting at quarterback, besides the fans?
Mason Rudolph.
Besides the fans and the radio hosts that get to just drop hot takes all the time. No, honestly, I think it's the wide receivers. I think George Pickens especially, and Pat Freiermuth. I would say I know Freiermuth's tight end, not a receiver, but I'd say Pickens and Freiermuth. Freiermuth and and Pickett seem to have this really good rapport together. It's not quite like Ben Roethlisberger and Heath Miller, but like Freiermuth, I think
it could become that.
It could become, but yeah, Freiermuth last year was starting to get there, that like he could kind of do that read Ben's mind thing that like Hines and Heath and those guys could always do. And even AB, to his credit, when Ben improvised and broke a tackle and rolled out, those guys knew what he was thinking and wanted to do and found ways to get open. And Freiermuth started to do that last year, that like when the play would break down, he kind of knew what Ben was looking for and was finding ways to get open. So I think Freiermuth kind of has that innately to be able to have that sort of, ESP with the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think as he develops it with Pickett more, it'll get even better. I think just because they were both rookies and were both kind of down on the depth chart in the preseason, Pickett and Pickens had a lot of, throwing and catching and a lot of like working on the timing things together. And that's always the big change when you bring a new quarterback in, is how much have they practiced with the starting receivers and how is their timing, right? Like that ball to Claypool, if he understands Claypool's speed, does he throw it to the sideline instead of to the hashes? Or does he, or I guess it was more on the numbers, but you know what I mean? Like he could have led him a little more. Claypool basically had to stop and leap for the ball rather than trying to catch it in stride.
Right.
So, but I think those things just get worked out over time. And there's no substitute for reps and experience. And right now we've got a young receiving core, a young offensive line, a young running back, and a rookie quarterback. Like this offense, there's going to be some growing pains and it's going to take time, but they really have the opportunity to kind of all grow up together if they can all gel together and do it.
I think that's well said. A lot of youth going on that side of the ball. I thought Freiermuth seemed to be one of his favorite targets right off the bat. But clearly he's not afraid to go deep to his receivers either.
Hey, coming back to real quickly, I just want to say one thing because Ryan brought up the out schemed.
Sorry.
No. One of the things that Minka said is they made adjustments in the second half, in the fourth quarter in particular, and we didn't make adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And that
is
very telling to me. It's like, okay, you had a long ass drive. Now you're only up by 3 points. You need to make some adjustments. Even if you've got to call a timeout in the middle of that second drive and go, okay, we're going to change things up. You do it. You don't keep going back to, well, this is our game plan and we're going to stick to it. We think this is the way to. What the fuck? Why?
That's just stubbornness that I don't understand. I don't.
I mean, especially when you see the fact that they have changed what they are doing, you got to make changes too.
Right. You got to match it.
But we sorry, steal that now. God.
No, you're fine. I'm good.
You talked about Tomlin maturing as a coach or whatever earlier, and evolving. Sorry, maturing. That's a natural maturation process that any young player goes through.
And things of that nature.
So, but like
paint with a broad brush.
And
you got red paint. You paint your board red.
So last week, the Patriots went to overtime in Green Bay.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, David versus Goliath, right? To me,
hey Joe,
that was all about coaching. That's all Belichick, right? Am I wrong by saying that?
No, you're not wrong.
They lost Brian Hoyer.
Yep.
They didn't have Mac Jones. They put Bailey Zapp in it. Yeah. And it's like, and they went to overtime in Lambeau. Like, to me, that's all Belichick. And then you got Andy Reid. After that, who's arguably the best coach in the league after those two guys?
I don't think Andy Reid's that great. I think Andy Reid has great players.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I'm just saying.
But no. But is Tomlin not like that next layer?
Yeah, and I've always said
coach.
That. Yeah, I've always said there's that tier behind Belichick that was like Tomlin, Carroll, Harbaugh.
Okay, fine.
Peyton, and Andy Reid, I kind of put in that tier because until he got Pat Mahomes, he didn't really win anything.
Right, exactly. I mean, he had a lot of really good players in Philly, and he just couldn't do it.
Okay, so then at what point does Tomlin look over across the field and say, "All right, Robert Saleh, no disrespect, my guy. We're in the same fraternity. We're in the same fraternity. But I've been around. This is my 16th rodeo. It's like, come on,
it's a good point.
I want to be like you walk over to Teryl Austin, and be like, Teryl, listen, I know you're from Sharon. I know you went to Pitt. I know you're a good guy. But here's what the fuck we're going to do right now because you're not putting our guys in position. And I feel like maybe not so much Reed, but I feel like Belichick would just go over to whoever he needed to and just be like, this is what we're doing. I'm going to live by the sword, die by the sword. And you know what? I'll take the blame if we lose.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's not enough of that from Tomlin, even though Tomlin is literally an elite company.
I agree with everything you just said. Holy shit. Wow, I agree with Ryan completely.
Cheers. Well, would you also
you're going to
say
Mason next, so it's fine.
Would you also say though too that Bill Belichick basically looked at his office and said, "We're going to run the fucking football, and I don't care what it takes."
And maybe the Steelers should do that to try to help Kenny Pickett.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It would be helpful if they could actually generate a productive fucking running game. So before I went off the rails here, what were you going to ask, Mark?
No, sorry.
No, I was just making the point that I mean, Belichick is committed to the running game. He will run the ball over and over and over and over. He does not care what anybody thinks about it.
Yeah, I was just before I started talking about Minka, what were you going to ask me?
I know. Yes. What I was going to ask you was the offensive line is looking better.
Yeah.
What was your assessment on Sunday?
The right side of the line run blocked pretty well. The rest of the line didn't.
Okay.
I thought they pass blocked pretty well. However, they were not good at picking up the blitz. They left some gaps open, and you had guys standing there not blocking anybody. There was no Molly blocking, so it wasn't like people were looking head in the swivel going, okay, there's nobody coming to my gap. There's somebody coming over an open gap over here. They overloaded the other side. Should I swing around and grab that guy? They weren't great at picking up the blitz. So Pickett took some hits he shouldn't have taken. Mitch sucks and keeps stepping out of the pocket. I don't know why he does that.
He's late with the ball, too.
That, too. He's holding on to the ball for too long.
Yep.
But it's a quick passing scheme, which should theoretically help the offensive line. And within that framework, they are performing pretty well as a pass blocking unit. I can't say that this is a unit that can give a quarterback 4 seconds on a pass play. I don't believe that. But I will say this for them positively. They seem to be getting better each week. And as long as I continue to see progress from this unit, I'll be encouraged. And I keep seeing it. So, hopefully it's just a question of these guys gelling together, and becoming at least a competent offensive line. If they get to the point where they are a top 15 line by the end of the season, that is a huge jump, huge over last year, where they were awful, god-awful.
Well, and it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if, we drafted an offensive tackle and a center and, a couple other pieces too. But
go ahead, Ian.
The other thing I'll say too, that I noticed was after Pickett came in, it seemed like, even when guys blew blocks, he was going over to them before the snap and trying to talk to them and pump them up and kind of tap them on the head, be like, all right, get them next time. I'm still here. After he took that big shot and, got the ball off to Freiermuth, he jawed at the defender a little bit, but he went to his lineman too and was kind of like, A, fucking protect me, B,
fucking
do better next time too. That it's I think he has a little bit of that, and you saw it, like his post-game comments with the throw to Claypool, like him talking to, Freiermuth and some of the other guys on the field that were just like, his communication out there, his body language is so much better. It's night and day from Mitch.
It
that
is.
I think just having somebody out there who's going to be like motivating the guys a little bit and not just like a stick figure that is going to like actually help the play of the offense too. Cause that's really what they need to do. They need to go out there and kick somebody's ass up front. Like, just go out there and beat the shit out of the guy in front of you. And really this offseason, like that was the message they were sending, right? They're like, oh yeah, we're going to go out there. We're going to be physical. We're going to beat people up. And, through the first couple of games, they weren't doing that. But after, and I don't want to put it all on Pickett, like swinging the tide, but it did give that offense a spark, and the line blocked a lot better after he got in there.
They seemed to play better for the for the third
quarter.
But then in the fourth quarter, they played awful.
Isn't that a concern though? To me, it is. They didn't like you get up for one guy, but you don't get up for the other. Like
PFF that, is a joke, Joe.
I mean, like to me, like I agree. Listen, I'm not blind. I saw it. I get exactly what Tomlin was saying. But like they didn't have that same energy for Mitch, but they had more energy for Kenny. And I'm just like, well, shit, maybe the guy. Oh man, this game is so terrible. But
it's almost like saying that when Mitch is on the field, it's more of like a business-like approach. When Kenny gets on the field, it's like, all right, here we go. It's just a different feel altogether.
And to me, Mitch is what, a 5-year veteran, 6-year?
Six. This is his 6th year.
So you're getting more excited about a rookie that's never done shit in this league versus a 6-year veteran. It's kind of like, I don't know what that says.
When Trubisky scored a touchdown, he kind of got up and was looking around like, oh, this is great. I mean, whereas Pickett scores a touchdown running the ball, he's spiking the football, he's staring at the crowd, he's firing everybody out. You can't have anything more different than what those two
I agree. It's been night and day.
You've got to bring a little bit of emotion to the game if you're going to lead a team.
You do. I think.
Yeah. If you're extremely talented, like I'm going to be frank, like Eli Manning was,
okay,
you can get away with that shit. If you're not, like Mitch Trubisky is, then you can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna shout out Eli Manning right now that slayed the dragon not once but twice. Okay.
Yeah,
I agree. He's a Hall of Famer just for that, in my book.
No, he is a Hall of Famer. He absolutely is, and he's got 2 rings.
Speaking of which, the best tweet I saw this week said that Giselle joined the club of Eli Manning and Nick Foles of guys that took rings away from Tom Brady.
That was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was so good. It was so damn good.
Outstanding. Hey, quick message that just to remind you, we are presented by DEK Roofing.
Tequila almost went down the wrong way.
Well, yeah. Of South Florida, DEK serves Broward and the southern Palm Beach counties, whether it's commercial, industrial, residential, multifamily, or condos. Contact DEK Roofing today by visiting deckroofing.com. And hey, they're busy. They had a little hurricane go through there. Not so much where they are, but believe me, John Deck is busy breaking in the dough, baby.
I bet the cost of roofing supplies has gone through the fucking roof.
Oh, it's been nuts, man. It's been nuts. And while we're just kind of doing this,
Ian, not the hurricane.
Not the hurricane.
Yeah, Ian, not the hurricane. Scarps, when did you want to do your long distance dedication? Did you want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, we need some engagement here. I mean, I know I'm annoying, and I know that my panelists know I'm annoying. So, you know what? I'm going to end. Maybe we should end the show with it.
Sounds good.
And then we'll to number 4 this week.
And then we'll see how the engagement is with it, and maybe we can bring it back next week. Maybe not. We'll see.
I think what you should do is the like the ESPN NFL power rankings.
Okay.
Up to number.
I typed it up.
Week.
I'm ready to go.
Look at this guy. He's got notes. Holy shit!
I'm like Casey. RIP. I'm ready to go.
Unbelievable. Good stuff right there.
Well, Jeff, we checked with Whitney, and yes, she does.
Yeah. Well, let's check on Nation.
Okay. 3
Okay.
spots this week.
I've got to get to this. I've got to get to this because it's been irritating me all week. Why in the hell?
Mark is easily irritated.
Yes, I'm old and agitated. Why in the hell did we get a first down on a beautiful throw, 26-yard gain to Pickens? The clock is counting down to 4 minutes left in the game. We're up by 3. We're in field goal range. Why in the hell did we hurry to the line and snap the ball so quickly? That was the play.
A bad decision.
This was the play that Pickett made a very poor toss to Jalen Warren and ended up losing us 5 yards, and then the next play was the interception.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Pickett or that was the offensive coordinator.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, youthful enthusiasm.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, isn't the job there to burn clock?
Slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
Let it get down to 2 or 3 seconds. Snap the ball.
Yes. You got 1st and 10. You're already in Boswell's field goal range. That'll at least get you up by 6. So they got to score a touchdown.
It's game.
Yeah, it's game. And I just, and I mean, we can talk all day about the interception. It hit Freiermuth in the hands, blah, blah, blah. But, that's what I go back to.
The one thing I'll say in defense of it is if you have a mismatch on the field, right? If you have them in base and you have a wide receiver and you have your 3 receivers on the field, or if you have them in nickel and you want to run the ball, whatever it is, if you have them in a mismatch set and you don't want them to be able to substitute, you can hurry up to the line,
right?
But then do what Roethlisberger did, run that muddle huddle, get up to the line, call the play at the line, and still take the clock all the way down.
Absolutely.
So
agreed.
That I think is if you have a personnel mismatch that you like, that's the move there, is keep that personnel mismatch on the field, but also burn a bunch of clock.
Yes, I agree with all of that, Ian. I think that would have been the play. I saw him going up to the line, and I thought that's exactly what they were going to do. And then they snapped it. I'm like, holy shit.
In my opinion, I've had a couple opinions tonight, but in my opinion, to me, that was both Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett still thinking they were in college.
Still thought they were Pitt Panthers?
Maybe.
Well, they weren't together as Pitt Panthers, but
right.
Yes. Yes. If Matt Canada got lightning in a bottle when it came to his success at Pitt, and then Kenny Pickett his senior year, I truly thought that, like, especially when they were hurrying up, like, I thought that they were like, you know what, we're gonna win this, and because we're better. And you know what? Execution is more important than betterness. And it was the pitch to me, and that's just me. As much as Najee has disappointed me this year, I want him in that situation. I don't want Jalen Warren getting a toss out or a pitch or whatever. I want Najee running the ball, especially again under 5 minutes in a game. Mm-hmm. You got to get points on the board. Give me Najee. I don't need no fancy shit, right?
I get that.
And then his worst throw of the day was that throw to Freiermuth. And granted, good, listen, the Jets made a nice play as well.
They did.
I am not going to put Muth in that position. And here's the other thing I want to say about Pickett. Fans are already making excuses for him, and I understand it. But don't make excuses for him because, it was right in Muth's hands. That's a tough catch. I ain't never made that catch. You definitely never made that catch. Give him a little bit of a break.
But it was catchable, Scar.
It was catchable.
Catchable.
So was the Claypool ball.
The Claypool ball was even more catchable.
Yes. Fuck. So yes, and Claypool has a year on Muth.
Yeah.
Right. 2 years. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
But that whole sequence was just like, okay. If you're an experienced coordinator, you're going to know what to call in that situation. And to me, that's what cost them the game. And I know the defense sucked, but that's what cost them the game.
I still go back to the fact that those last 2 drives by the defense, allowing them to drive a combined 21 plays for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You just can't fucking do that. No. If you want to be, if you're an elite defense, you don't do that. If you're a good defense, you rise to the moment, and you don't do that. That doesn't happen. And that was some shit. And we've talked about it before. The coverage calls were shit. The linebackers both chasing the play action was awful. Letting tight ends just run into the middle of the field for long gains. You can't do that. That can't happen. The defense was really disappointing to me in the fourth quarter. Really disappointing.
One of the last tactical things I did want to talk about tonight was the linebackers. In Ian, I'll start with you.
Robert Spillane.
We're seeing these alignments with Spillane, Bush, and Miles Jack on the field at the same time. We're seeing Spillane.
Some
coming
of those
on.
They're using Spillane as like an edge rusher, which is kind of weird. Like
right.
I think they're trying to do too much to make up for the loss of TJ Watt. They're also running nickel on the goal line. There was a play on the goal line that they took Montravius Adams out and brought Arthur Millette in, and I was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing right now? It's a goal line set. They have 3 tight ends in the game.
Right. It's not like they had 3 or 4 receivers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't understand it. And believe me, the crowd knows it too. They see it. When Spillane starts coming in, you can already hear the groans. And look, we've all said that Spillane has gotten way more out of himself than
he's an overachiever.
Than most. But he just is a liability in some of these situations. And I just don't get what they're seeing. What's going on?
I think the thought is that they got burned last year with teams running draw plays on like 3rd and 15 and picking them up. So they put Spillane in basically as a running game spy or an extra rusher, almost like they used to use Vince Williams as like an extra pass rusher in those situations where you take a lineman out and bring a corner and bring an extra defensive back in, and they put Spillane in there and rush him as like the 4th rusher. The problem is too, they're not blitzing, right? They're just bringing 4 rushers. Yes, they're mixing up which 4 guys it is, but they're still just bringing 4 every play. And so it's not, the defensive scheme needs adjusting, and that falls back on Teryl Austin. So maybe I'm more critical of Austin than anyone else has been so far, but I think he deserves a lot of criticism for how this
guy's track record isn't exactly glowing.
No, I'm just I think that he is deserving of criticism. There's no question. He has failed to make adjustments in key moments this season. Playing Robert Spillane on 3rd down when you need a coverage linebacker is an awful decision.
I don't get it.
I don't get that at all. And that's when Spillane is playing. He's playing in these off base defenses where you've got substitutions and he's coming in to cover someone, to be an extra cover linebacker in a short zone. Yeah. So basically it's like, okay, well, let's just make sure that the guy who's closest to 41 catches the ball because that's a guaranteed gain.
Scarps.
They don't have anybody.
Well, that's a part of it.
Yeah. If I had to put money on it, I would want Miles Jack on the eligible. But Miles Jack can't do everything.
No, he can't.
So that being said, and I do agree with the fans that are saying, what about Mark Robinson? I don't know what Mark Robinson can do in coverage. I don't know. He's
not good in coverage.
And that's the thing. So like
Mark Robinson is going to be a good special teams player and he's going to be a good,
good run stopper.
So
first and second down linebacker.
Looks like Garrett Bowles is
okay. Let's put it this way: Mark Robinson is going to be Vince Williams in coverage.
So that's the thing. It's like so like Tucker. It's okay. It's okay. Tucker, good boy junior. It's okay. But it's like, okay, so you put a Mark Robinson and see the same results. Like at least Bobby Spillane, not only does he do good work fixing your HVAC, he also shows up on Sundays. So it's just like, they don't have a lot of options there, and I do understand it, but Miles Jack is a pleasant surprise.
They're limited.
Not that Miles Jack wasn't good ever, but he's done very well, but he can't do it all, and like they're limited in many ways.
I agree. They are. They're doing the best they can with what they have. And before we get to our predictions for this weekend, we do have a special appearance from Mr. Casey Kasem.
There we go.
Casey Kasem has just entered the building, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to give us a very important announcement.
And now it's time for one of our favorite parts of American Top 40, the long distance dedication. Ryan from Pittsburgh writes, Dear Casey, it's a good thing I wasn't drinking last Sunday because there wasn't enough beer in the tri-state area that could have drowned my sorrows after watching the Steelers implode against the goddamn Jets. But I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Just kidding. I'm not. Programming paid me to say that. So the optimistic side of me is eager to see Kenny Pickett build off his NFL debut as he makes his first career start in Buffalo. Casey, I don't know if you know this, but Kenny Pickett was the Steelers' first-round pick, and he went to Pitt, so he's automatically better than every other quarterback in the league. And he's well on his way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is it, Casey. Well, Ryan, first and foremost, thanks for being a smartass. Secondly, you're in for a real treat because our next song is This Is It by our own Kenny Loggins. Off his 1979 album, Keep the Fire, This Is It moves up 8 spots. Get it? 8 spots.
Well played,
and number
Casey.
11.
Well played, Casey.
Holy shit.
And I know Ben's with me on this one. We're old enough to remember when This Is It was the theme song to the NCAA Final Four.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. Holy shit. What did Freak say here?
That was so good.
If anybody gives a shit, I will do one of those every week.
That was great.
Now you have to.
However, it also was who the fuck was it? It was God, who was this? The 49ers safety who got his finger cut off.
Ronnie Lott.
Yep. Mentioned the fact that they kept playing This Is It over and over and over and over and over again in the locker room before their third Super Bowl win.
Really?
Yes.
I'd never heard that one before.
Yep.
That's good stuff. I didn't know it. Let's head to predictions this week. The Steelers will travel to Buffalo.
You're a dick. I don't want to say this.
It's a 1 p.m. Eastern kick up there at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo, New York.
Orchard Park.
I'm going to start with...
I'm going last. Give me a minute.
All right, we've had a request for Casey Kasem to go last. Ian, start us off with your prediction.
Why me? All right. Oh, crap. I'm going to stall while I think about this. Hey, Joe, is your icon the Clareton Bears football helmet? Because if
it
awesome.
is. He went to Clareton
great.
himself.
Oh, that's great.
Unbelievable.
Joe is a big Clareton Bears fan. In fact, I would say that Joe's fandom for the Clareton Bears eclipses his fandom for the Steelers. And I think that's tragic, and he needs to really examine his priorities. That's pretty fucked up. But that's the way he feels about it.
Clairton's pretty awesome. Like, if you've ever been to a game there, it's pretty awesome. I mean, they have a parade before the game up the hill. It's pretty cool. I mean, I remember I was tweeting about Tyler Boyd when he was a freshman in high school, so I feel old. Anyways, the Killer T's won 4 straight state titles. They won their high school career. They were 63-1. They lost their first game their freshman year, then won 63 in a row.
How can you see that, Ian?
What?
That's crazy.
How can you see Joe's?
It's in the chat.
I can see it, but it's okay. It's tiny.
All right.
Oh, Aaron just showed up.
Hey,
what
Aaron.
did I miss?
What did I
Hey,
miss?
Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
To the party, man.
You missed the tequila, Aaron.
Hey.
All right. I'm gonna
waiting
go
on Ian's predictions. That's what.
Yeah.
You missed.
All right. You know, I think Kenny is more capable than Mitch of actually putting the ball in the end zone. The Bills' secondary is almost as injured as our secondary. The Bills' front seven's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
The Bills also have a damn good quarterback and a damn good receiving core. Like, I really don't know who's going to cover Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and all the other guys. So, I'm going to go Bills 38, Steelers 21. So we're not going to cover the 14-point spread, but I'll go 38-21. But we will put 3 touchdowns on the board.
Okay.
Which is like equal to the total that Mitch put up in 3 games. So, yeah.
Ben Anderson, your selection for this week.
You, Mark. I don't even want to say this. As has been mentioned already, probably not. The Bills have the number 1 passing defense in the league. Yes, they are injured, but they are very good, not just because they have good cover players, also because they have good guys up front who can pressure the opposing passer. The Steelers do not have a great pass blocking offensive line. I don't care what PFF says. They don't. Okay. I doubt very much that they can give a guy 3.5 or 4 seconds. That's what it's going to take to win this game. All right. Run game, run blocking, not great for the Steelers. Run defense for the Bills, pretty fucking good. Steelers' entire defensive backfield being dinged up versus an outstanding passing offense. Not so great running offense, but outstanding passing offense. I'm a little concerned, and bet the over. It's 46.5. Bet the over.
Bet the over. Okay.
I'm gonna say Bills 34, Steelers 21.
Okay.
All right. Only 4 points lower than me. Not bad.
All right. Scarps.
Oh, was it 4 points lower?
I said 38-21. So
okay.
So
yeah.
I talked about trusting my gut earlier on the show.
Trusting my gut. You know, if you go ahead and you predict the Steelers are going to lose too.
Yes. So the Steelers are 1-3, like my predictions, but I haven't trusted my gut on those 1-3, so I'm going to trust my gut here.
Okay.
I'm going to say this: these are the moments that Mike Tomlin rises to the occasion. And
Rises to the occasion.
However, this is not week 1. TJ Watt is not playing. This is going to be similar to that Kansas City regular season game last year. Oh, my God. Russell Wilson just threw an interception straight to number 5 for the Colts. I have no idea who that is. Anyway, I am saying 35-13 Bills.
Yowza.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Yowza.
Hey, I just want to point out that I have a bet. And if the Steelers win somehow by some miracle, I have to eat regular wings with ranch.
You do?
After the fact, yeah.
Wow.
I don't see it happening. I think it's a pretty good bet that Alicia's going to have to eat
I was just going to say, it must be Alicia.
With blue cheese.
Well,
that is the bet. And she's probably going to lose.
What's your go-to wing? Like, what do you mean regular wings? Unseasoned, unsauced.
Hot wings.
Okay.
Like regular, like none of this fucking chipotle lime shit. I mean, regular fucking hot wings, right? no pineapple. Fucking, I don't know. Anyway, pumpkin spice. I saw pumpkin spice wings the other day.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's communist.
And it was from a place in Buffalo. So immediately I tweeted Dell. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Dell needs to get on that. That just can't be.
Pumpkin spice wings. I was like, I think I'm gonna hurl. This is fucking disgusting.
Okay.
Mark.
Yeah, here's what I think. The Bills have outscored their opponents 63-7 in the second half this year. That does not bode well for a team in which the defense usually is tired by the middle of the third quarter.
But we had Kenny Pickett.
Well,
and he's God.
We do have
everybody
Kenny
relax.
And I expect Kenny to throw for 5 or 6 TDs.
At least maybe 7.
Maybe 7.
Maybe 7. Break the rookie record.
I think this will be closer than people think for a bit, but then I think at the end of the day, it ends up Buffalo 34, Steelers. I'm going to go Steelers 23. 34-23. I think it's
got to be a little different.
Yeah, I think it's going to be curious.
Chris
just enough
Boswell
to keep people
with
watching.
A couple of field goals there. Maybe 3.
Yeah. And Joe wonders who the fuck eats pumpkin spice wings. We don't know, Joe. And
Joe, we don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It sounds pumpkin spice.
It's
revolting. Not the wing itself.
Right. A couple of thank yous out there. First of all, to Hall of Famer Rick, who was awesome again as a host to us. Got us on the field this weekend.
This game is so terrible.
I'm truly amazed at the size of these people and the quickness of these people. Every time I get down there, but my son hadn't had that opportunity, and so we're grateful for that. Obviously, thanks to my buddy Craig, our buddy Craig, for the seats, and thank you to Lenny and Cindy and Whitney over at the Renegade Tailgate. They do a fantastic job. Kevin Dotson's dad came over there and did the raffle numbers. He's hilarious.
Nice.
Had a chance to meet Alex Highsmith's dad too. Super guy. And so a lot of thank yous and stuff to go out there. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight, guys. Thank you for jumping on.
No overtime?
I thought we were going to overtime.
This game's about to go into overtime.
I thought we were going to overtime. I thought we were going to do 3 hours again. Didn't you say 3 hours?
We ain't doing no fucking 3 hours. I can tell you that.
3 hours. 3 hours of entertainment.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Here's the thing: Mark can leave.
This game is definitely going into overtime.
Yeah, you assholes can keep going. What is the Scarps? What is the score of the Thursday night game?
It's 9-6 Broncos, and Russell Wilson threw an interception in the end zone, and now the Colts are driving, and they are already in field goal range.
Are they playing in the monsoon or something?
This is going to be 9-9 going into overtime. The worst game in NFL history. And fucking,
I don't know about that. I've seen
actually, here's one. The freshman football game tonight at the high school that I teach at finished the freshman game 0-0.
Wow.
Yeah, my buddy has coached for almost 30 years. It's the first time he's ever had that happen. He texted me a little while ago, and I'm like, holy shit. It's not even raining, snowing, nothing here. But anyway, 0-0.
Matt Ryan might be dead, but that's okay.
That's all right.
There was a Whippeal championship game a few years ago. It was in the rain that ended 2-0.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Both
teams
like
just kept fumbling the ball. There's like
Jersey
15
Mikes
fumbles.
a day. I'm just saying.
Did you just say Russell Wilson looks like he eats a lot of Jersey Mikes?
85 Jersey Mikes a day. You know, he gets the capicola, he gets the Italian, he gets a turkey. He does. He looks a little plump. Now, by no means do I have a good body, but I mean, that guy gets paid like $50 million. Gets paid $50 million a year. I mean, I'd be in better shape.
Well, hey,
here's one called "Let's Get Physical."
I really do love.
All right, I'm getting out of here.
I really am loving this shit.
You've been listening to the SCB Steelers Podcast presented by DEK Roofing Incorporated of South Florida. And hey, go Steelers!
Ravens suck.
American Top 40.